Hey y'all, welcome back to the Growing and Flowing podcast. My name is Brandy. Feel free to call me Brain if you are new here. So I am a little excited because I have Lanique on again, and we are doing a part 2 to our previous episode last year. So if you haven't listened to that one, you should definitely go and listen to that one. This one is going to be a good supplemental episode. So Lanique, would you like to slightly introduce yourself for anybody that hasn't listened to that episode as of yet?
I'm Lanique again. What do you call it? My handles?
My handles are. Were you about to put those out there? Like
_ forever LSP.
Oh, is it 2 underscores?
All my yoga day-to-day stuff is there, but I'm a registered yoga teacher in the Hampton Roads area. My focus is meditation. I also paint, but right now my focus is just yoga.
Okay. And I was just wondering about that too. Actually, the other day after that wellness event. So, like, what if you don't mind? Like, why is it on the background? Is it not like a current passion?
It is, but it just feels like yoga feels right now.
Okay.
And like doing both. I want to do a revamp, maybe like next year, but right now it's just
not a focal point. Okay.
It's been bothering me.
Oh,
but I'm just not. My focus is yoga.
Okay. So then, when we started talking last year, I think that was around the time that you had just started it. Yeah, and then we were talking about like the first time when before you had started getting your license and all of that, because it's a license, right? That you get. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, to get certified. There we go. Certification and all of that. So what are some of the major and or minor differences that you see in yourself since the last time I had you on the show? Pod.
A lot of growth still, a lot of things I still need to work on.
Okay.
And I think we talked about the healing process and how it's never ending. A lot of that has been coming up, and a lot of I think a lot of situations have been coming up that are making me take a step back and use the tools that I have.
Okay.
Like, you have these things, you know these things, so use them. It's been a lot of that.
Okay. And I think I was trying to think of, like, as I was walking up, I was trying to remember, like, where was I, like, what space I was in. I remember when I came here, like, my mind was, like, very scatterbrained. Because I remember I left the tripod standing here.
Yeah.
Like, and I was fucking lost. And, like, when I came in this time, I was thinking I was going to get lost. And I'm like, yo, so Brady, that was the turn you were supposed to take the whole time. But my mind was just, like, everywhere. And I think in life in general, I was just in this like weird in between. And I think now I am, but mentally. Yeah. So how has life as a yoga instructor been?
It's been good. It's been easy. Like, I've been getting a lot of like opportunities like fall into my lap, or like just people that remember me from events and are like, hey, you want to come work at our studio? Or just even like word of mouth. A lot of people have been pulling me in to do wellness events.
Nice.
It's been good. It's been really good. I feel like I'm walking in my purpose for sure.
No, that's really good. Because when you, at the wellness event, like, it was a really good flow. And I remember last time I was talking about, like, I thought I had a hard time relaxing. And I'll talk about that later in the episode. But, like, I feel like it came with ease, but not that time. For like the first time I think ever that I did yoga, but like I wasn't so in my head about it. But like it was just like very peaceful.
That's why I make you meditate real long for it. I do that every class on purpose.
Okay.
In the beginning and at the end, we're gonna meditate for a long time so that you can get there.
And it's so crazy while we were meditating. Not like I didn't enjoy it. I was like, all right, I'm ready to move. See,
no,
that'd be my
I
problem.
get that too.
Yeah.
I get that too sometimes when I'm at other people's classes. I'm like, no, stop.
Yeah, that's what I had to keep doing. I had to keep doing that. So yeah, I really liked your approach. And like with the music, I don't know, you just have like a nice, like calming voice. Like I see it.
That's the feedback that I want. That's another part of what feels good about this whole yoga thing, is like hearing people respond back saying things like that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's doing what it needs to do. So for you, what is the most rewarding part, if anything?
The feedback.
Okay.
Like I like hearing, oh my God, I feel so much better, or I feel like I can go home and relax. I like that because when I first started doing yoga, that was why. Like I needed relief, and I love hearing the feedback from people who come to my classes or who have never even tried yoga before.
And like that's their first time, and then it's like, yeah, like I was able to give you that experience. Nice.
And then like opening doors, like I feel like since I've started, I've been in rooms and spaces with like-minded people or people who are big on mental health, and I feel like that's from me doing yoga. I don't think I would be in the same rooms
if you weren't doing the yoga thing. Nice. Sometimes, like when we work on, you know, our quote-unquote passions, like you never really know where that stuff can like really take you, for real. Because like even with, because at the event Drew was there, but like I knew Drew, like we had some interactions before, but like. She found me off of our first episode. And then like when we did our episode, and then after that, like we hung out, we ate and stuff like that. But it's like, dang, you be like, so because of this, like I got to meet this person.
When would y'all have ever had a conversation?
Like that's what I'm saying. Like, so yeah, those moments are super crazy, but super grateful for moments like those. So what has been the most difficult part of being a yoga instructor, if anything?
Maybe staying consistent with my own practice.
Okay.
Like I make myself go at least once a week, but I don't think I do yoga as much as I used to because I teach now.
Okay.
Like I don't go to other classes as much as I used to.
And is it any time, and I'm throwing this one in there, but is it any time, it's not random, it's not random, my bad, not going too off road. But is it any time like when you're instructing that, because I guess I was just paying attention. Like I know there are certain points where you do examples of the poses and you do something, but is it certain times where like you're more engaged in the class and you're doing everything with everyone, or as an instructor, it's more important to go in and out?
I think I just go in and out naturally.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess if it was a more intense class, I think it's more important to demonstrate. But because I like focusing on breath and mind, I try to like walk around and like check in, kinda. Yeah. So I don't know. I try to do a mix of both.
Okay. I didn't know if that was a technique or something. Because I know I've been to some classes where like some instructors, they'll be doing like everything.
I went to one class where this girl did nothing. And I was like, how is she doing it? Like, I feel like that's more challenging, low key. Like, she talked and we moved. And it was not an easy class.
Because she wasn't...
Like, she literally just talked us through the poses without showing us how to do the poses.
Wow.
I was like, how is she just...
I would have been offended if that was my first time. Like, I don't know. I'm new here. But... So, time to do a little bit of a segue. I'm getting better at this.
You are.
So, let's get in. Let's talk about emotions a little bit. So, do you find it hard to deal with your emotions?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I'm a very emotional person. Literally, I'm back in therapy. And I said my goal is to learn emotional regulation. Like, your emotions are going to be there, but I feel like I need to process and release my emotions better.
Okay.
Or I could do better.
Yeah. And I think I'm realizing that about me. But, like, I think recently I've had to come to terms with, Brandy, you're an emotional person.
There's nothing wrong with that either.
It's not. And for a long time, I was telling myself, like, why are you so emotional? Why are you crying about this? Why are you crying about that? Da-da-da. But it's like... that's just who you are, and like that's literally okay. And I think I was fighting myself with that for so long. Yeah. And I'm just like, why?
Same.
Yeah. But then also too working on like regulating them. So like, am I crying just because I'm watching a movie? Like, or because like I cry easily at certain stuff. Yeah. But like, am I crying because I'm actually feeling something? Okay, so what am I feeling? Like what? But like literally telling myself like it's okay that I feel some type of way about something. Yeah. So what is your go-to when you're struggling with your emotions?
I talk to my people. My best friend. Shout out to Eris. My best friend, my mom. They're good at like talking me down from anxiety attacks. Like I just have my go-to people that I know they're gonna say something that's gonna help me shift
the mindset,
or look at things simpler. Because when your emotions are all over the place, or like me, if you have anxiety, it's not coming from a clear place. So yeah, I talk to my people and I lean on my people when I'm struggling.
Nice.
Or I isolate. We talked about isolating.
We did talk about isolating last time.
I just spend time with myself, reading, journaling, until I feel better.
Okay. So, like, oh my gosh, I'm throwing this one there too. Sorry. Not what is the longest you have isolated?
I don't know. Because I have a roommate.
I mean, you do. But, like, besides that portion. But
I don't know. I can't pinpoint, like, a time frame. But I know recently, I just started back, like, going out.
Okay.
Like, I went through a phase where I was just like,
no.
I want to be in my safe space. Maybe I was doing that for like a month, but like not a solid month.
Like here and there, but like, okay. Okay, because I think for me, like, I love isolating, but I'm realizing that that's not necessarily always the best alternative for me.
You gotta like shake yourself out of it eventually.
Yeah, like, or like even if I don't want to fully shake myself out, like here and there, like you were saying, it was like go somewhere, or just talk to somebody. Like it's not really. I don't know. I think for a while, like I tried to tell myself, "Oh, you don't need nobody," and like, well, yeah, it's like that's what I'm saying, and I know that, and people would tell me that, but like, I don't know, like, it's a me thing, like, and so like figuring that out with managing my emotions, and last time we talked about meditating, but I have made a promise to myself starting last week. It's been a week and a half. I'm so proud of myself. I have been meditating for 3 to 4 minutes a day. That's it.
That is awesome.
That's it. And I've been keeping it up and trying to hold myself accountable. Because
the teacher don't even do that.
I think going back to that when I said I didn't know how to relax, I think I wasn't comfortable with sitting with myself.
That's a very loud
statement. It is like, and I've always enjoyed my own company and all that other stuff, but when it comes to actually regulating me, I don't think I was comfortable just sitting, being. Because, like, I always feel like I got to be doing something. And I don't.
Like that at all. But that's good that you can acknowledge that because, okay, now use that. That's
what I'm saying. I got to use that.
That's your working area.
And I've been feeling better by doing that. So, like, I want to have that accountability for myself. So how do you prevent yourself from taking your emotions out on other people?
The isolating part, like before, like say I need to have a serious talk or tell somebody how I feel, I'm gonna journal about it and write it all down or put it in my notes. I like kind of condense before, but if it's just like naturally, I don't want to take my emotions out on people. Yeah, I just wait until I do what I have to do in my time so that when I do go, I'm okay. So, like, say I was going to an outing with my friends. I'm going to make sure I meditate before I leave the house.
Okay. to regulate. Or,
like, I'm very open with my friends about, like, my anxiety and stuff. Yeah. So, I just say, like, I'm kind of struggling. Yeah. I'm going to come out and have a good time. But I'm just like,
this is what's going on. I just recently started using my notes and stuff like that. Because I'll journal, but, like, I guess for a while, like I used to try to do it so consistently thinking that's my process, and it's not my process. And I kept trying to make it work. Like, oh, people say you should journal, but now you realize you got to make stuff work for you. Yeah. So like, and when I'm in the moment and I'm feeling some type of way, or like even if a thought comes in my mind, or like I want to be able to hold on to and catch it later and then reflect on it and stuff like that. I've been starting to use my notes. If I need to, I like to have like I'm an only child, so I like to have like a lot of like dialogue out loud. But like also, you know what I'm saying? Like that's, I think that's helped me in a lot of ways, but also too, like sometimes with a thought that I want to finish, and instead of like not stressing myself if an answer doesn't come to me right then and there, I've been trying to use my voice notes. And then like, if I go back and listen to it, sometimes when I get out of that fogginess in my brain, I'm like, damn, okay, so I get what I was trying to say, and then here's what else I was trying to say to myself. So that's been helping. So next, when it comes to areas of improvement, is it difficult for you to be honest with yourself?
No. It used to be.
Okay.
Like, I don't like hearing it from other people. But I think now, because I'm in a space to where I want to be better and I want to do better. Yeah. I have to face those things. Yeah. And I'm not afraid to face those things anymore. Yeah. Yeah. It is what it is. Like, this is what is not right, and this is what you need to work on.
And I think I started doing that like last year, but like from different angles, and I've grown in different ways. But I think recently I realized, no, like, Randy, it's a core thing. It's a core thing you gotta unravel and figure out what those other connections are that's preventing you from fixing all those other areas. Like, I feel like for me, there's a common denominator, and it's just like I just had to look at myself. And it's not like I've ever been afraid, but like maybe I don't know. Like maybe I stopped somewhere, and then like I kept going in my head like, well, why didn't I catch this earlier? But also being okay with not necessarily finding that answer, but just know that I'm ready now. So like, what are those things? And I had to get firm with myself. Like, Brandy, like, what is it? Figure it out. Because, I was like, we got to figure this out. So yeah, now I think I'm there. Like, I'm not afraid.
Some people don't like facing those things, and they just stay the same.
Yeah, because it's like, because it can be real awkward when you're like literally sitting there with yourself, with these things that you don't like about yourself. Yeah. Because it's just like, damn, I really been doing that. So yeah, and like I understand that too when you look at the other people who have never faced anything about themselves that scared them. Like sometimes like we evolve and we change, and you look back at other people, it's like, damn, you still the same.
I think it's more shame in that. Like, I'd rather be willing and open to change than stay the same.
Yeah.
And not do better.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I paused right here. I'm gonna cut this out. Okay, so to the inner voice. And like before I get into that, I think I've just recognized what that is like last week, and not even realizing that in certain instances like I was ignoring that. So what is your definition of your inner voice? Or what does that look like?
I want to say gut feeling, but I don't want to say gut feeling.
Because I think they're different feelings.
Yes.
And I definitely think they're different feelings.
Okay.
Yeah.
You explain that first.
What, the gut feeling?
Because I told you, y'all, these questions were triggering when I first read them. But yeah, explain to me what you think inner voice is, because I know it's not gut feeling.
I know it's not. So what I've come to this general consensus that I feel like an inner voice is that voice in your subconscious, that voice that is underneath the thoughts that come first. For me, like when you have an emotion, and like with me, it can be my frustration or my anger. For me, like realizing that when those feelings come, when it could just be something simple, no, you feel some type of way about something else that's underneath there. So like, for instance, I can use an example, and this is like not heavy, because I was like, Lord, I'm not crying today. But so I've been looking for another therapist, right? And so when I contacted whomever the team, like first of all, they took 2 business days. I'm like, all right, cool. But then it's like it was some discrepancies, like them getting my information. And then when it came to the day I had already scheduled my appointment, they sent me intake forms the day before my appointment at 3:40 something. She told me it got to be done by 4:30 or my appointment's getting canceled. See, something told me, yeah, Bernie, cut it off. Like, you can find another therapist.
This is not the one.
That's what I'm saying. It was literally something there telling me that, but then I had thoughts like masking it, like, well, no, you need to find a therapist, like you already got this one here, like go ahead. But that first voice told me, nah, don't do that, like that don't feel right, but don't do that.
Does that sound like gut?
No, but I don't know if that's gut. Okay, so I don't know if I would necessarily say that's gut, because I didn't feel it at the bottom of my stomach. Like, to me, that inner voice is just literally a slight distant thing that you hear in your head. But what you want to do can overpower that if you don't listen to it.
What you want to do versus what you feel is really right or really true.
Yes, I feel like that's how I would describe it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So like, no.
That's my definition. Use that.
Okay.
What I feel like your inner voice is what you feel is really true.
Okay.
Like what comes natural, what feels right.
Yes. Okay. Yes. And I think when I realized that, so that leads me into my next question. How did you learn to trust your inner voice? And you said we were still working on that. Facts. I think when I realized that in certain instances, you can break down different scenarios where you're like, damn, like, I think I heard that voice and I decided not to listen to it. I think I realized, well, damn, Brandy, you don't trust yourself as much as you thought you trusted yourself. So like that's trying to be, what I'm working on is being more conscious of that and being more conscious of when I hear that voice and being okay with like, hey, you heard that voice, and if you decided to move forward and not listen to that voice, well, this is what happened. So like I'm still working on that, but like, what are you doing to learn to trust? Or
I don't know.
okay.
That's why I said this question was triggering, because I have been struggling with that. Like I literally said out of my mouth, I don't know if I can trust my inner voice / gut, because sometimes my anxiety is so loud. I'm like, okay, is this emotions talking? Is this my heart talking? Like which one is, I don't know.
Okay.
So that's just a process right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna get there.
You're gonna get there.
But that's definitely something that I've struggled with this year, because my anxiety. I've been trying not to claim it.
Okay, you've been trying not to claim it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I don't know, can you tell me about a time where you didn't trust your inner voice, and then what was the outcome? I know it doesn't have to be something super tragic. It can be like, if you can think of something.
I don't think I can.
Okay. No, it's cool. So for me, I'm gonna continue my therapist, my therapist scenario. So then okay, we did all that intake forms, yada yada. Meet with her. Then when we joined, and she was like 1 minute late. That's slight. But she was like, we just started using Google Meet and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, okay. And it's nothing wrong with people getting into their practice, or like I don't know where she was at in that point.
All signs point to no.
Literally. So then during the calls, I was like, all right, I'm on the call, we doing the intake, and she asked me 2 questions, but I feel like I know I did. I already answered both of those questions in some of the scenarios that I said, right? So then I'm like, all right. So then after that, I'm like, okay. They say you should give a therapist 3 shots, blah. I don't know why I felt obligated to feel like that's what I was going to do. But okay, so I moved forward. I scheduled the next one. Then insurance payment already went through. Here the administration team go emailing me, telling them, can you update your payment method on file? And I'm like, I had to send them a screenshot showing them my payment method. And so I'm like, no, I paid. It took out. Like, it paid. Then I'm like, Brandy, what are you doing? I literally stopped. I said, what are you doing? You knew this wasn't right. You knew this didn't feel right. Why are you trying to force this? Literally just cancel the appointment that you scheduled and find a new therapist. Then when I'm going to cancel, it said like you could leave something in the box to say why you canceled. And the thing is, I wasn't going to. And the thing is, I still didn't have to. But then I was just like, well, why am I feeling guilty about something that doesn't work for me?
Yeah.
So I said, I'm looking for a new therapist.
Yeah.
But see, I knew that the whole way down. But it's like, why was I doing that when I literally heard that inner voice the first time? Yeah. So like
So you're there. Like you're there.
Am I there?
You're working in it.
Oh well, yeah.
And trusting your inner voice.
I'm trying to, and I think walking through different scenarios that I haven't has been helping me. So then I still, even though I didn't even cut the cord there where I needed to, just like telling myself like, no, you still did a good job because you didn't continue with this therapist that you felt like didn't work for you.
Yeah.
So yeah. What do you do when you feel off for absolutely no reason?
I go down like a list, literally.
Okay.
So like in yoga, you do a body scan. Like I go down a life scan.
I was just listening to something that said something about that.
So I look into, okay, what am I eating? What have I been eating? Am I drinking water? How have I been sleeping? Have I been being active? Have I been drinking a lot of alcohol? Like I just go through a list of things that I could be doing better. And then I also try to think, okay, what is affecting me, or what's the heaviest thing on my mind right now? And I just dissect all of it. So like, oh, if I haven't eaten crazy, I'm about to eat better this week. I'm about to go to the gym. I just started back walking at the gym. On the treadmill.
That's good, right?
Or at the beach.
Okay.
But it's just those things. So I try to like do what I can before I have to look at other things, if that makes sense.
No, I think that makes sense. But what do you mean other things though?
Like before I start leaning on my people, like I don't know what's wrong with me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I try to get it together with myself before
doing it. Okay, no, that makes sense. Me, I'm figuring that out. I think I'm figuring that out because sometimes, like, because I've been working on like talking to myself more positively because I used to be like, Brandy, literally, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, but it's like I don't gotta say that to myself like that. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean something is wrong with me. Like, I guess I'm trying to figure out, like, trying to do that, like the body scan. Like, I'm working on implementing those things because sometimes, like, I can be very scatterbrained or I can be overthinking. But it's just like I need to figure out like why. So that's why I've been trying to implement the meditating thing, clear my mind, so I'm not thinking as much. And I think my biggest thing right now is connecting my mind, body, and my soul. So like doing the meditating thing. When I mentioned the chiropractor, like,
see, it's like the same thing.
It's
going
like
down the list.
That's what I'm saying. And now that I'm saying it out loud, I guess because like I'm working on the list of the things in general for me regulation, and then like once I have those things in place, then like I can naturally just do the body scan when I'm feeling like that.
Yeah.
But when I had mentioned the chiropractor, like I've been doing that because the lady was talking to me like how it helps your nervous system and all this other stuff, and deadass, like I needed the chiropractor that day that I went because it's literally like I just feel more like all that stress in my back. It just wasn't contributing. It wasn't helping me everywhere else. I think next week I'm gonna get, correct me if I say this wrong, acupuncture. Yeah, that's how you say. I want to do that shit.
I googled that because I want to do it too.
Yeah, like I'm gonna find somebody next week and I'm
just
gonna
scared.
do it.
What if I fall off the table and all?
Oh, that's facts. Why would you say that? Because I did not.
Sorry.
Because I'm trying to get over the needle portion, but I'm like, it's giving prick. So I'm like,
whenever I see pictures, I'm like, dang, what if they just fell off the table?
What the? No, I have never thought of that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But I think I'm working on the full wellness of things.
Yeah.
And I think for years, literally decades. Oh my gosh, that sounds so dramatic. I've just been having all this stress up in my body, moving, like working, doing all these other things, and like I'm at a point in my life where like I can slow down.
Yeah.
And like let my body catch up with everything else that I'm working on. So that's what I've been working on. Now, what does balance look like for you?
It's my favorite word.
And that's why I put it in there, because you be talking about that.
That's my favorite word. Balance is, and from my perspective, when work is steady and I'm happy with what I'm working on at work, when my intimate relationships are great or thriving, when I feel fulfilled in my work outside of work, like with yoga and teaching, it's just, say you have this big pot of all these things in your life, when everything is aligned, that's when I'm in good balance.
Okay.
So it can't be one more than the other.
Right.
It can't be something lagging. Like they have to all be in sync.
Okay.
Pretty much. And
that's what I'm working on, alignment.
Like some people work more than they take care of their mental health. Or some people overindulge in going out. Yeah. When they could be working on things that they feel are important to them that they never get to. Yeah. So it's like, I just like being able to have a mix of some of everything. Yeah. That's to contribute to the whole thing. I guess, I'm trying to figure that out. Imagine being rich and you can't even enjoy your money because... That is one of my biggest fears too. Like, cause they talk about like people that have like a lot of money and stuff, like how a lot of them don't be happy. Can't even enjoy their life. And I don't like that. Yeah. And like, that's why I'm trying to nip a lot of things in the bud, because I know I can submerge myself in work. Like, but for what? Like, I did that for years when I worked at Walmart retail, a lot of my life. And it's like, nah, like you work remote now, things at work been like slow, but like consistent. But it's like, I can literally work is not ruling my life. But like, you have freedom. That's what I'm saying. But I think that's so weird for me because I've never had that freedom. So even though I've been working remote for damn near basically 2 years now, like I'm just now figuring out like, okay, so I have this and I have this time to work on me, but it's like also like, okay, well, how do I do that? Mm-hmm.
So like I'm in that weird in between mentally where
it's like a testing phase.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try a little bit of this. I'm gonna try a little bit of this.
And coming to terms that like I'm not interested in a lot of the shit that I used to be interested in. And what nobody talks about is when you miss the old you, but like that ain't you. And
I miss the old me sometimes.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like, but it's just like, well, where would old me really fit in this? You know what I'm saying?
She would be unproductive. She would be out all the time.
Exactly, like but just knowing that time has passed, like that's not me anymore. And I think I've been really hesitant with leaning into the things that I'm starting to like. And then that just causes inner conflict because also I realize parts of me that have been on autopilot for so long. And then like maybe that's why I didn't see that some of those things were a problem because it's such the norm.
But have you ever thought about, like, I look at it like I do miss the old me, but I feel like the old me can be sprinkled into me now still. Like, not completely, but like I can still be her. If that makes sense.
No, that makes sense. I guess I'm at the point where like I'm figuring out new me. Because I've never taken the time to do that. Like it's certain things that I just haven't been leaning into, and I don't know why. Like slight stuff. Like I've been liking pink a little bit, and like I have not been coming to terms with that because I'm just like, well, why the fuck do I like pink? And it's so much more feminine things been coming to me, and that's just weird.
That's good.
That's what I'm saying. That's good, but it's like I haven't been fully letting that in. So like it's like I've been having this inner conflict with myself and realizing that, oh my gosh, I literally told myself if I did not have laughter, I'm so funny to myself.
No, we need to laugh.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and I really was weak at myself the other day because I'm like, damn, I am definitely a girl that will walk outside in the grass barefooted. You know what I'm saying? But like
not out here, but
you know what I'm saying? Like I never pictured me being that person.
Yeah.
But like that's okay. Like
you're in it might feel uncomfortable, but you're in a very exciting stage.
Is it exciting?
Yes, because you're figuring out who you are, what you want, what you like, and you're going to be trying different things.
That's true. But then like I guess the hardest part is just recognizing that, all right, well, we got to let some things go. Because even the sprinkle thing, yeah, I get that, but like literally the stuff and maybe some of the people that like I'm just not as interested in as that I used to be.
No, I went through like a shedding phase where I was just like, you can't be her. Like, and it was more so of a mindset thing. I had to shed an old
That's
mindset.
what I'm doing.
Not even the things that I was doing.
Yeah.
Just like my mind years ago. She can't come.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. You said last time that you didn't have TikTok. I had to get off of healing TikTok.
I have TikTok now.
Oh my gosh, you gotta start liking some healing videos. They literally kept coming. I was like, oh my gosh, slow down. It was this one girl. She was talking about like how hard it can be to like shed that old person.
When I say I was so uncomfortable, I was crying a lot. I felt like I was purging. Like,
yeah, that's where I'm at. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But it's when you get out of it, it's gonna feel so good.
Yeah, and that's what I keep telling myself. And I know that it's just like, I know there's no timeline on anything. Because I know one day you're just gonna wake up and you're gonna be like, all right, this is me now. But it's like
gonna feel so good. Like so good. Maybe write down, like I remember when I was purging, I said, okay, how do I want to feel? What do I want that to look like?
Yeah.
What kind of woman do I want to walk into?
Yeah.
And I wrote it down, and
yeah,
with time,
that's what it was. Yeah. So I'm figuring. Yeah. Yeah. I'm figuring that out.
Look at the bigger picture. Keep in mind the bigger picture. When I get out of this,
like this is what's gonna happen. Yeah. So that's good. That's good stuff. That's what I'm doing. But like you have the days where it's just like the other day I was like, oh, I feel like I just don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to do anything. Like I need to disconnect. I think I was just so overstimulated that day.
Yeah.
I was so overstimulated. I was just like, oh. Then I was like, right before I went to bed, I was like, Brandy, all right, do you really feel like that? Or like, do you need to go to sleep and see how you feel tomorrow? So being more conscious has really helped me because that helps me keep that awareness up and do like repetition for like exactly the things I want to change about myself and then that direction of who I want to be. So that's been helping me.
I'm telling you, write it down.
Write it down. Okay. I gotta write it down.
What does she look like? How does she talk?
Mm-hmm.
What are the conversations she's having? What is she doing?
Yeah. Okay.
My person was teaching yoga, and I'm teaching yoga now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try that. So then we kind of talked about this a little bit in that dialogue, but leaning into yourself, was this, or like, can it still be conflicting for you at times, or no, like you feel like, no, like I know who I am?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I feel like that's always going to be an ongoing thing. Like, here and there, I noticed before my classes, I get like imposter syndrome, like, and then I have to remind myself, these people are here to take your class. You did the work to get here.
Yeah.
Do it. But I think that's always going to be a hard thing, because also we change over time.
We do.
So imagine shedding, and having to look back and be like, okay, am I happy with who I am? Is this what I really want? I feel like I constantly have to reevaluate what I want.
Okay.
Like, truly want. Not what I think I want, but like what I
the things
want.
you actually want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that goes back to me, like, it's right now I'm in that phase of it's just like a lot of back and forth.
Yeah.
And like some days that can be exhausting.
It's up and down. Like,
it's so up
you're gonna
and
get
down.
out of it, and then you're gonna be in it again. Just FYI.
Okay.
But
okay, noted. And then what is your advice for those who are on a healing journey right now? Minutes on that 36.
I think we did. You asked me something like that.
Did I ask you that last time? And I was really wondering, okay, well, let's see. Do you have the same advice?
I think so. Like,
Okay.
Try what works for you.
Mm-hmm.
When we were talking, I was not doing therapy. I'm in therapy now, and I love it.
Okay.
I just started, but I know it's gonna be good for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then just like with what you're going through right now, try different things.
Yeah.
Try different things. See what feels right. See what feels good. And just give yourself grace, because it's so easy to be uncomfortable and down bad and beat up on yourself about it. So I don't know. I say a lot of affirmations all the time.
And it's so crazy. I used to really think affirmations were the corniest thing ever. Mm-hmm. And I love them now. I do.
They can make me snap out of it real fast. Yeah.
But I realized that too, like just utilizing them. I'm like, nah, like this is like, cause I'll say them, like I have some saved in my notes and stuff like that. I have some like on my wallpaper. I should have separate ones for that. Cause like I say a lot to myself too when I do meditate as well.
Yeah.
And what I've been practicing is like, which we talked about gratitude last time, but still that's the thing, like certain stuff I slacked off with as well. Like, because I feel like a lot of those things are tools for us, like, while we go through our different journeys. Yeah. But, like, being consistent is literally the hardest part.
Even when you're mad, even when you feel like it's not working, like, just do it.
Yeah, and that'll help.
Because sometimes I'll be like, I don't even believe this shit.
But I'm going to say it until I believe it.
It's still hard.
Yeah, like, realizing that, like, a lot of things, there's no magic cure for everything, anything.
Gosh, I wish it was.
That's what I'm saying. And I think times in the past, like, I've wanted instant gratification for stuff. Mm-hmm. And that's not ideal. Like, there's no magic pills for anything. I think this time because I feel like this is the actual journey. So what I realized, though, is that when I was on my fitness journey, I lost the weight. That was the first part of my journey. Mm-hmm. Like, when I did that, that's how I came into Confident Brand. Like, I got my confidence up.
But you know, when you're moving your body and you're working out your body, your mind is in sync and will naturally feel better, if that makes sense.
No, that makes sense, because I was going through hell at Walmart, and no matter how many hours I worked, I still went to the gym. That makes sense. But like, I wasn't big on like the mind stuff then. So like, I wasn't really making that connection. And then the day that I was just like over my shit, when I feel like I started this journey, I'll say, I compared it to my weight loss journey. I remember I woke up one day before I started losing weight, tried on these shorts that I knew I could not fit for a fact. And I used to be able to, it was 2 buttons. I used to be able to button the top button. That button did not button. And I said, absolutely not. I said, we got to figure this out. So I use that same comparison because it's like, I was over my shit. Like, I just got up and I was just like, so.
Sometimes it takes that.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, all right, Randy, like, you got things that you want, things you want to do. And like, when the shit is presented in front of you, you can't keep doing this. Mm-hmm. You can't keep self-sabotaging. Mm-hmm. And that goes back to what we were saying, like, you know, eventually, like, you know, I want more money. But like, or wherever I am in life, I never want to be at the point where I'm like, I quote unquote have everything I want, but like I'm not right within myself that it really don't mean nothing to me. Mm-hmm. And that's like a big thing. Like I never want to regret my life.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how and I said, yeah, Brandy, no.
Sometimes it takes that. Anytime that I've been depressed,
mm-hmm.
even though that can be literally your brain.
Yeah.
Some people literally can't snap out of it. It's been times where I'd be like, okay, it's been months. You have to do something else.
Yeah.
Even if I don't want to leave my comfort zone, like you have to do something else or you're going to be here.
Yeah. And I guess my advice to Healing Journey, because like I'm on one, but like I've been on one before, similar, like I don't know. I don't got to define it. I feel like I be trying to find the definition of stuff and that don't really matter. I guess I also compare it to when I moved out of state the first time. Like it's very uncomfortable leaving everything you know. Mm-hmm. And I was in this uncomfortable space for like 6.
That's where growth happens.
That's what I'm saying. That's where the most growth happens. So I compare it to that as well. Like when you talk about being uncomfortable and how I talked about earlier, how like, yeah, it's uncomfortable because I'm in my mind that, but it's like, and on my guest episode last week when I was talking to Mia, she was like, you know, she was talking about postpartum and all that and like how she ended up going to a very dark place. But she was saying,
I'm so scared because I feel like I'm going to be like high risk or something because I
mm-hmm. And she kind of was too. So I think she was like, she really had, for a while she was fighting it, like being uncomfortable, and she was like, you're just gonna make it 20 times harder for yourself. Yeah, if you fight against being uncomfortable. So like a lot of the different times in my life that I was uncomfortable, it literally was the best thing that ever happened to me. Literally. So like I have to think of it like that. So like if anybody wants to work on their shit, like be a better person,
fight through it.
You have to, because you have to know that there's light at the end of this. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not doing this for no reason if I really do the work. So yeah, we got to keep pushing.
Literally, I was pulling cards with my friend mm-hmm. when I was depressed, and my first card was keep going, and I was like, oh my god. I don't know. Just random.
Yes, I'm like, what are you trying to say to me? And that's and it's so crazy, you know, and this is maybe going off topic a little bit, but I mean, not off topic. So, I'm reverting back to I said how I would walk outside with just my feet on the grass. Mm-hmm. Also, realizing that, Brandy, you believe in this universe stuff. And I feel like I've been trying to fight that to myself for a very, very, very long time.
How deep into the universe stuff?
What you mean?
Because you know how I feel about the universe stuff.
Well, I know you're not the number girl. I know you said last time the crystal stuff.
I'm still not.
I'm kind of into the crystal stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not out here doing witchcraft or nothing. But no, like, I believe in, like, you ask for a sign and you fully surrender and trust the universe. Okay. You will get a sign. Like, and I've done that in the past, but I was like, am I being punked right now?
I'm there, but I think it's through prayer. Like, I pray now more than I ever have in my life.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's signs from God. Just
okay. No,
for me, that's what I feel like it is.
Yeah. No, I get that.
But I definitely get that. Like I always, when I pray, I say, okay, I'm surrendering to whatever is supposed to happen. Just let it happen.
Yeah.
And in some way, shape, or form, it happens. So I get that.
And I've been shown that time and time again. And I literally just told myself last week, yeah, Brandy, you believe in this. Like, stop questioning it. And also just knowing that your journey is personal to you. So what you believe in,
if it feels true to you,
then that's what it is.
Yes.
But like I had to come to terms with that, though. I think that was hard for me.
And you gotta find the people. Like, you gotta find the people that you can express that with too, probably.
That's what I'm saying. I have one friend that I'm able to talk about that with. But yeah, I need some more. Like, because I do be wanting to talk about it, but like I don't ever want to feel weird. Like I'm putting that on other people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because everybody has their beliefs.
Yeah.
And
oh my gosh.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like sometimes like no, I don't want to hear that you're not into all that rah-rah. Like I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? Because if that's what I believe in, I don't want to feel like I'm not being true to myself. If that's how you feel when I'm telling you that. So yeah, that was random. But dang, that's all the questions I got. So y'all, we have gotten to the end of my episode. Thank you so much, Lanique, for being on again. You are very appreciated. So again, if you guys haven't listened to part 1, I will leave the link in the bio so you can go listen to that. That dropped last year. So by the time I drop this, it'll be December? Yeah, I know, so long, but it'll be close to the end of the year. So hopefully you hear this right on time as you think about what you want in year 2023.
Keep going.
Keep going. Like Lanique said, life is hard. Yes. Life is always hard, but what I'm learning, it starts with the mental and everything else will follow if you're, catering yourself, being true to yourself, listening to your thoughts and working on the things that Actually, what I'm going to say, and this is what I've been saying to myself a lot, it's not about where you've been, it's just about where you're going. Because I feel like a lot of times, like, we feel like we have to respond in a way that we used to respond in the past when we don't have to because we aren't in that space anymore. So yes, thank you guys so much for listening, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Okay. So wherever you are, find a nice, comfortable seat. Maybe roll your shoulders back, sit up tall, or if you're laying down, get settled and try to find stillness. And start to inhale and exhale in and out through your nose at a natural pace. Try to relax the muscles in your face, like your eyebrows. If your eyes are closed, try not to close them too tight. Relax the muscles in your jaw. Release the tongue from the roof of your mouth, creating space in your mouth with your mouth still closed. And with each inhale, your belly should inflate like a balloon. And on your exhale, your belly should settle back into place. So maybe place your right hand on your belly and your left hand on your chest. Inhaling and growing. Exhaling and settling back into place. Thoughts may come in. You can acknowledge them, but let them go. Try not to think about what you have to do after this. Be still. Be here. And breathe through it. And we're going to breathe together using 4-2-6. So we're going to inhale for 4, hold for 2, and let go for 6. Whenever you're ready, inhaling through your nose for 1, 2, 3, 4, and holding 1, 2, and exhaling for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling for 4, holding for 2, and exhaling for 6 with your breath. Focusing on your breath, letting go of any thoughts, letting go of any emotion. Be still, be here, and breathe through it. 426, come back to your natural breath, breathing in and out through your nose. And we're going to inhale together through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. One more time, inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. One more time on your own, inhaling everything that you need to take in and letting go of anything that's holding you back. If your hands are on your chest and your belly, release your hands to your knees, palms facing down. Come back to your nostril breath, breathing naturally. Whenever you're ready, you can blink your eyes open and welcome yourself back to the room.